Jay Toia, class of 2021. I'm a D tackle at Grace Brethren, and you were watching the show LA.
What up, everybody? I'm Solo Dolo this week. This is AP on the show LA, the hottest high school football show in Southern California. Anyone else who calls their thing the show is not the real deal. Holyfield, the one and only show right here, the show LA. We got a great episode today. We've got our upperclassmen watch list with 2021 D lineman from Grace Brethren, Jay Toia. We've also got Samarai Anderson, played varsity as a freshman last year at Corona Centennial. He'll be joining us on the lower classmen watch list. And then we've got Black Coffee with Mr. John Brown, spitting game. But stay tuned for episode 27 of the show LA. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the show LA. On this week's upperclassmen watch list, we've got a big-time defensive lineman, one of the top in the entire nation. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Jay.
What's up, guys? This is Jay Toia, Grace Brethren D tackle, class of 2021.
Talk about USC. You committed to USC this past year, but obviously you had a whole host of offers to choose from. Who were some of those schools that were on your final list, and why USC?
Well, I dropped my top 8 a while back, but it was USC, LSU, Michigan, Nebraska, Utah, Cal, and yeah, that was it.
What was it about USC, man, that really made you want to make that pledge to be a Trojan?
Well, for starters, I've always been a big USC fan. I grew up in Inglewood, so it's to live and die for LA, kind of thing. But also, I wanted to be part of something great. They didn't do too well the past couple years, but that's the goal, is to make them better. And it's just home. It's right here. It's right down the street from me. So
USC, man, big time program, and they put out a lot of D tackles. They put out Rasheem Green, right? He's playing for Seattle right now. You got Leonard Williams, was top pick in the NFL. What's it like knowing that you're going into a program that produces NFL talent every year?
It's a crazy thing to think about. It makes you kind of nervous too, going to a big time school like that. And one thing, you're at your high school, you're a senior, you can be a top dog, and when you enter college, you're at the bottom of the food chain again. So, and especially for USC, like you said, they breed out D linemen. So it's just a lot of nervous feelings about it.
So you got a guy like Drake Jackson, youngster out there now. He's doing really well on the defensive line. Who are some of those guys who are currently at SC that you've been able to develop great relationships with?
My cousin's over there, Stanley Taufo, he's over there. So that was somewhat part of the reason I committed there. Also the whole D line in general, Jay Tufele, Marlon Tupulotu, all of them are guys I look up to. And
Now looking at some of those guys, and yourself included, man, so you got some Polynesian Bowl All-Stars on that team, up at USC, and you're also selected. Talk about that process, man, and what was it like, when you got that call and saying you're selected to the Polynesian All-Star game?
Man, it was a big honor, actually. Being Polynesian, I'm full Tongan, so that was a big deal for me, being selected to go into the Polynesian All-American Bowl. So it was a really big deal. And knowing that Jay and Marlon went through that together also. So, it's just an honor, really.
And then you got guys like, Talanoa Hufanga, Jamar Sakona, right? A ton of Polynesian Bowl All-Stars on that team. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, I have not.
So what are you excited about, man? I know you've seen some of the stuff that we've thrown up over the last few years, from being out there. What are you looking forward to most about, aside from playing in the game, about being in Hawaii?
Definitely meeting new people. I'm kind of like antisocial. So, I don't like to talk to our people, but it's actually definitely bonding, getting to know other people, bonding through that same experience they're going through. So, yeah.
Now, what's it going to mean to you? You're Tongan, like you said, what's it going to mean to you being able to share your culture with some of the guys who don't, come from Polynesian backgrounds, right? Because you look at the game, it's about 50-50 with, Polynesian background and then, non-Polynesians. What are you looking forward to on that level in teaching people about your culture?
It's definitely an exciting thing to teach other people about the Tongan culture, and a lot goes into it, but and even stuff that I don't know. But yes, it's exciting.
Now, you talked about earlier, your humility, and being humble going in as a freshman, knowing that, you're at the bottom of the food chain, right? How did you develop that mentality? Who have you talked to, your mentors and whatnot, who have kind of let you know that that's the way it works in college? Because the truth is, a lot of guys think the opposite way. A lot of guys go in and say, hey, I'm going to start as a true freshman, and have all these hopes and dreams, about what it's going to be like. But, you have a different perspective. Where did you get that perspective from?
Definitely my high school coaches, and even Marlon and Jay and Stanley and all of them at USC. And shout out Coach Dowles and Coach Henderson at Grace. They've always taught me to be humble, and it's always started from my parents too. It's always to be humble. So yeah, that's how I look at it. I might be or might not be the top dog now in high school, but once I enter into that college football environment, it's gonna be totally different. No one's gonna know who I am, so I gotta work my way up.
Last year against last year against La Habra, there was a huge play in that game, and we've posted it on our Instagram. And when Josh Henderson gave Clark Phillips the stiff arm, right? Where were you on the field when that happened, and what was your reaction? What was everybody on the sidelines' reaction?
I was the right guard for that play. I was playing right guard, and I had pulled, and I was kicking at the D end because it was supposed to be a power play, going to the right, but Josh took his own route. He saw a hole, he took it, but I was blocking for Josh, and I saw that happen. I just couldn't believe it. All this hype about Clark Phillips, being 5-star this, but at the end of the day, stars don't matter, rankings don't matter. Anyone can beat anyone on any day. So I was really pumped when I saw that. It got me going.
What was it like the next week at school? Because obviously everybody at Grace Brethren saw the play too. I mean, what were people saying on campus?
Man, everybody. Josh was like the superstar on campus that whole week, and even till now, Josh has always been a great teammate, even better player, even better person. But everyone just hyped Josh up. No one believed he did that. So that was the thing.
You chose Grace Brethren, out of a lot of schools. I'm sure you could have went anywhere to play your high school ball, right? But what was it about Grace Brethren that made you want to go there? And what is it about the environment there that, that has helped you develop into the player you are?
I actually did not want to move out here because I'm from Inglewood. I came out here to Simi Valley to play football. My uncle, he was good friends with the coach. So my uncle, also for safety reasons, all that LA gang stuff, this and that. But my uncle wanted us to get out of there, so he brought us to Grace, and it was crazy. The Grace environment is crazy. I hated it out here when I first got here, until I stepped into the football locker room, and it's just totally different. Everyone is really cool. So I love my teammates out here. I love the coaches. I love the people out here in the Grace environment. So
Now, in terms of this season, the season is obviously delayed. You started in January, but you plan on playing. What are some of your individual goals? And then what are some of your team goals for Grace this year?
As far as the team goal, we've been moved up. This is the hardest schedule Grace has ever seen in their history. When I first came in as a freshman, they used to be D8, and now we're D1, D2. But as a team, we definitely want to win the league, win the Marmani League now. Or with Calabasas, we play Westlake, Oaks, and all of them. But as a team, we just want to win league and CIF at most. But anything can happen. So and as an individual goal, I'm just trying to get better as a player. You know, there's something to get better at my technique, footwork. But it's just for me right now is speed. You know, I think I'm strong enough to play this season, but it's for right now. It's just focusing on my speed. Yeah, my feet work.
Now, speaking of training, you've been doing a lot of off-season stuff with Coach Ed, you know, over at Future Elite Academy. What has Coach Ed brought to your game and to enhance your play?
Oh, Coach Ed has definitely taught me a lot of things about being a D lineman, and it's not like I haven't learned it before, but he just perfected it for me. And so yeah, we've been working a lot of hands, you know, shoulder movements to, you know, attacking the middle of the body of the lineman and stuff like that. So Ed's kind of helped me with a lot of stuff, footwork and that. So shout out Coach Ed for that. And yeah, he's been putting in work with me. So yeah.
Well, hey Jay, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, LA. You know, to sitting down with us for the upperclassmen watch list. We're definitely looking forward to coming out to some games at Grace this year. And then, you know, staying tuned. We'll be out at Future Elite Academy to check you out some more. But man, we appreciate having you on the show, LA. And we look forward to hearing about your season this year and then following your career from, you know, USC and beyond, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, this is John Brown again. I'm gonna come to you with some more black coffee, but for some of you don't know what black coffee is, let me real quick tell you, okay? Not everybody can drink black coffee straight. They need a little cream, a little sugar to make it taste good, sweet, easy to bring down. What I'm telling you, no sugar, no cream, just straight. If you can't take it, you need to go tune in somewhere else. But I'm gonna give it to you real. Let's talk about weightlifting. A lot of people will ask me, hey, at what age should we start lifting weights? I think you should start lifting weights with your kids at 5 years old. Now, if you don't believe me, sit your ass down, go on the American Pediatric website and look at it. They advocate the same thing, resistant weight training for kids starting at 5. Now, of course, you're not doing squats or deadlifts, something stupid like that. You're just doing movements. You don't put a lot of weight on the bar. What I did is I went to Home Depot, got a pipe bar, and what did it weigh? 1.5 pounds, taught them how to do curls with just movements at 5 years old. And then you do graduate a little bit at a time. Now, lifting weights, man, I tell you, I think it's the foundation of every sport. Supplements, lifting weights is the foundation. If you don't understand that game, you're gonna be messed up. Now, I know there's a lot of coaches, personal trainers that don't like me for saying what I'm saying, but look, I'm just giving it to your ass real. And for an example, except one school, every school I went to never had leg press, they never have leg curls, they never have leg extension. Just for an example, I never saw a calf raise machine, as if the calf had nothing to do with sports. You gotta keep your body strong, all muscles. You can't just do bench press, deadlifts, and squats. That's completely stupid. If you do that, you create a muscle imbalance, okay? So, if, for an example, if you have a bad hip and you don't get it taken care of, you're gonna start compensating on your left side, your knee's gonna give out. Look, you can't do squats, and build up your thighs and your quads. Your hamstring is gonna be behind. At some point, you're gonna pull your hamstring. You understand? So, I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you this. You go to my website and you can download my training program. It's free, all right? caneprotein.com, C-A-N-E. You can see everything that I'm talking about. Another thing, I'm watching NBA Finals, and I heard Stephen A. Smith talk about one particular team, how they were gassed because Game 7, they were tired. Do you know if your body is 3% dehydrated, 3%, that it affects up to 30% of your performance? Think about what I just said to you. Now, if you don't believe it, research it. So the question is, I guarantee you they're all dehydrated. Every one of them. It's amazing how these dummies don't get this. You know, if I was a parent, you need to go consult bodybuilders because they understand the body and weightlifting and all this stuff that we understand it. So you got to make sure you stay hydrated. Why am I selling protein? Why am I selling electrolytes? There's a reason. I'm selling protein because guess what? You know the word protein is a Greek word and it means most important. It's the most important thing. I guarantee your kids are not getting enough protein today. I guarantee your kids are dehydrated. You want to get that scholarship, you want to make sure that your kid is the #1 guy on the planet, you got to get in his head and teach him, and you got to make sure they take all this stuff. Make sure they're lifting weights right, not just doing deadlifts, cleans, power cleans. That is so freaking stupid. You must train the neck, biceps, triceps, quads, calves. You must train every muscle on the body from head to toe in order to protect yourself. Now, when you think that's not important, you think the calf muscle is not important, hey, I don't know why, I'm not a doctor, but look, Kevin Durant, what did he do? Tore his Achilles, right? Now, you gotta keep your calf muscles developed. I bet he never in his life once worked his calf muscle. I guarantee you, most of these football players, here's what happens, I think, and these athletes, they get to their big contract, they stop working out. When they're in high school, they have a regimen. So they're gonna work out in college, they got a regimen. When they get to the big leagues, there's no regimen. So they may not do it. So I'm just giving out some tips just to help people further along their career in life. And that's my black coffee for today.
Welcome to the show, Samarai, man. We appreciate having you on. Thanks for taking the time to join us here at the show, LA. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Samarai Anderson, Corona Centennial High School, class of 2023.
All right, man. I'm just going to cut right to the chase, Samarai. What was it like playing varsity as a freshman for Corona Centennial? Go ahead and describe your experience last year.
My experience as a playing varsity football as a freshman at Corona Centennial High School is a very great experience for me to experience. Learning from guys like Isaiah Young and my good friend Mickey. You know, those guys in the secondary just making me a better player on and off the field. And they taught me a lot.
Now, Samarai, we all remember what it was like that first time we strapped on the pads on varsity. Describe your experience in your first game as a freshman on varsity. What was it like? What was it like when you made your first tackle? Just describe all the emotions that were going through your head during that game.
Yeah, when my first play as a freshman on varsity, it was very fast, very quick, high-paced, tense, and I expected it to be fast, but not as fast as it was when I went in. So when I made my first tackle, I was all hyped up, you know, got up, all that good stuff. So.
Corona Centennial is one of the top public high schools in the entire nation, year in and year out, one of the top high school programs in general in the state of California yearly. Who are some of those guys that played for Centennial in the past that inspired you to want to be a Husky?
There's a lot of great players that came through the program, like Isaiah Young, Jay Taylor, Montez Burfict, and I always looked up to my brother though. My brother played when I was young, and I was always watching him. You know, and it taught me a lot of stuff. How Centennial works hard, and, you know, never back down to any private schools. You know, always going 110% every play.
You guys have a different approach, a different mentality at Corona Centennial. You guys are a public school. What's that mentality and approach that you guys take to the game, knowing that you're a public school going against some of these mighty powerhouse private schools? You
know, we don't got the biggest guys or the fastest guys, but it's a dog mentality in the real world. That's how they treat us at Centennial. You know, no fear, fast physical, and all that.
Speaking of this upcoming season, what would you say your goals are as an individual and as a team?
Some of my personal goals for myself to set for the next season to come is win that starting spot, wherever it is on the field, and just make plays all around. Our team goals this year is, you know, we want to win state, as always, going for the biggest title. Samarai,
you've obviously been playing football since you were a youth. When you were growing up, who were some of those players either at the college or the pro level that you really looked up to?
Some of the guys that I used to look up to when I was younger playing football was Troy Polamalu and Junior Seau. Those are two guys that I always wanted to play like. They would always go in no fear and bad intentions every play.
So far, you don't have any official offers on the table, but you're obviously somebody who's projected to be a multiple double-digit offer type of guy. If you could look a college coach right in the eyes, why would you tell them they need Samarai Anderson on their defense?
First thing I'll say to them is I'm a leader, and I'm ruthless on the field, physical, coming in hard, I'm just a game changer.
Samarai, with regards to the recruiting process, you don't currently have any offers, but who are some of those schools that have actually been showing the most love?
I've been gotten a lot of interest so far. Nothing solid yet, but I got schools looking at me like California, University of Cal, and UNLV in Colorado.
Growing up, who were your dream schools? Who did you sit back and envision yourself playing for? What colors did you envision yourself suiting up in on game day as a college player?
Some of them schools that I used to dream of when I was playing at when I was younger was University of Southern California, USC, playing at Oregon, playing at Utah, go Utes, and then, yeah, that's basically it, just usually staying close to home was important to me.
You've been doing a lot of work in the off season. In particular, what are some of those drills that you've been doing and some of the lifts you've been doing to get ready for this upcoming season as a sophomore on varsity?
Some of the lifts I've been doing is a lot of power cleans, get that explosion up, bench press and squat. Some of the drills that I've been working was my breaks and opening up, and overall just my one-on-one coverage has gotten a lot better.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap for episode 27 of the Show LA, the hottest high school football show in Southern California. I'm AP, and I'll catch you guys next week on another episode of the Show LA. Tomorrow, I'm headed out to Coachella Valley to check out some 7-on-7 action. So stay tuned for next week's episode with highlights and much more. Peace.